Okay, guys, well, welcome to this module. In the previous module, we talked about how we can add text to our projects and add text, add speech bubble. In this module, we're going to be getting into something a little bit more advanced. This is going to be at the core of your animation project that you'll be getting into. Right? What we'll be looking at the characters we've been working on and the backgrounds we've been working on in previous modules are things we could easily download from the internet and make use of. But in this module, we're going to be learning how we could design our own characters. All right, this is something you're going to be doing a lot if you want to get into professional animation. You're going to learn how to design and craft out your own character. All right. So in this module, I'm going to be talking a little bit about different styles of character design, and also going to be showing you how you can pick your own character style or your own character choice, and then how you could also get references and work with them. Okay. So first of all, when it comes to character design, there is no particular rule as to character design. Character design is just an extension of your own personality or your own taste of art. Okay, there is no particular rule, and you don't necessarily need to be um, a very good artist for you to make great characters. And you don't necessarily need to have a very good drawing skill, although if you already have it, it's an addition. Okay, so your own character design has to do with an extension of yourself. You don't necessarily have to make your characters look like Pixar's characters or to look like Disney's character or some of all those people. Some of those people have very vast team of artists and character designers that work for them. Right. So what I'm more particular about is your choice. Your characters don't need to be very beautiful, so to speak. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So your character doesn't necessarily have to be beautiful based on other people's perception. You just need to learn what works for you. Okay, right here on my screen, you could see two styles, two kind of character design. We have what we call the stylized character and the non-stylized character. Okay, these are characters that are the two edge of two extremes of character design. Okay, so we have stylized characters. Stylized characters are characters that have that doesn't look so much human. They have their own style or they have their own taste and feel. All right, these characters are developed from things that necessarily doesn't have to be human, although they might have human characteristics. Okay, so if you look at SpongeBob, for example, SpongeBob is a square. Yes. All right, so stylized characters are more of an exaggerated character. You could take some particular properties of your of the kind of character you want and exaggerate them. All right, so that's more of what we have as stylized characters. Non-stylized characters are more human-looking characters, like the one we have here to our right. Okay, and let me show another example. Right here, you could see Johnny Bravo and Brave, the Brave character. I've forgotten what she was called in the animation that she featured. Okay, so to our left we have Johnny Bravo, and to our right we have the character that was played in Bravo. Okay, you could see in Johnny Bravo there's a lot of exaggeration to his arm and his shoulders and his build-ups. Okay, so while to the left the character there is not necessarily as stylized. She looks a little bit human. Okay, so when it comes to your own character design, you don't necessarily have to have your character look so much human. Neither do you necessarily have to have them exaggerated. It's more of what works for you, more of what you like as a person. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to make characters that look beautiful, so to speak. right? So just ensure you're working with something that you are convenient with or something you like. I'm going to explain this more when we start looking into how you can pick your references. Okay, but in order for me to emphasize what I'm talking about, let's look at one of the trending animations in on TikTok, right? So if you see this guy, I'm going to get to my TikTok from my desktop. You see this guy, the Boy Genius episode. You could see, I mean, I believe some of you must have seen animations from this creator here. So you could see how vast, how much consumed the his animation projects are. And his characters are just very simple characters, right? Just circular head and triangular body with stick hands. And the people are consuming it. People don't care whether the characters look so much human or not. They're just simply consuming it. Okay, so that's the same thing that is applicable when you're working on your own character. Your character doesn't necessarily have to be so much looking like Disney characters or Pixar characters. Just understand what works for you and what you can produce. And I'm also very particular about you starting small as a creator. Now that you're starting up, I so much advise you to start small. Start with something that you can work with. You don't necessarily have to make your character look very much developed before you could start creating content or start creating your own animation. Just ensure that you are biting off as much as you can chew. Okay, so you create something simple and then do your voiceover, animate them, and then start dishing them out. In the long run, you could improve or you could get into something that is more advanced. But for a start, ensure that you're working with something that you can consume. Sorry, something that you can conquer for a start. Right, so let's look at something else. Next thing I wanted to talk about is now that you have decided on the kind of character you want to work on, or you've understood the different um, type of character design. Next thing I want us to look at is how you can pick your references. Right, references are um, works, some things that other people have worked on. Right, so you could look at people's work, and from there you could choose what works for you. Because starting off, you might not really know. Okay, you might not really know what you want offhand, except you start looking at other people's work. You could now say, okay, I like this, I don't like this, I like this, I don't like this. So I usually go to Google. When I get to Google, I could just type cartoon. Okay, we could just look at cartoon characters. Okay, so when we look at cartoon characters, we could just start, looking through different character design styles, different faces, and different styles of character. Could look at them, look at so many things, and then from there you could choose. Okay, I think I like was is this Pikachu? What's the name of this cartoon character? I can't remember. Or you like the Simpsons, or you like this style, or you like the Shaggy. You could just look at different character styles, and then you could check Pixar characters. All right, so from there you could look at different character styles, and then once you've seen them, the ones you like, um, let's say you like something like this, you like characters that look more human. Okay, so you want to work with something like this, you could go ahead and download them. You don't have to copy exactly what they're working on. That you could be penalized for copyright infringement. Okay, but what you can do is you can learn from what other people have done, and from there you can create your own characters. Okay, so you could look through all these and then you choose your own references. You could gather as much as 10 to 20 pictures. I usually make sure I'm working with like 4 or 5 of them. So I could look at 4 or 5. I could say, okay, maybe I like the eye for this character. I like the mouth for this character. And I like the hair. Maybe you could look through one or two and say, okay, maybe I like this kind of hair works for me. I could use this kind of hair. Love this kind of mouth. Love this eye. I love this hair. And then from there, you could just look through different character styles and pick up what works for you. Download like 3 or 4 of them, have them, import them into your Moho. From then, from your Moho, you could now start designing. All right. So in next video, we could start looking at how we could start designing a character in Moho. Okay. So I would quickly like to show us 1 or 2 example of the things I've worked on some of the characters that I actually worked on. Okay, so right here, the first project is the let me just pick 1 or 2. The first one is um, the work we did when we were trying to sensitize people about Nigerian election, how they could vote wisely. We did a work for P2B. If you look at it right here on the screen, you could see that we chose to get the face of the presidential candidate that is working, one of the Nigerian presidential candidates, and then we traced his face, and then we had some other characters that we designed, and then we brought them in and we're able to work on the project. Um, so many things like that. Maybe if we had time in this video, I could show you guys how we were able to develop the character. And then next one is a project we did for Brother Shaggy. You could see that we used his face, used his pictures, and we're able to trace and be sure that we got the exact caricature of his face. Okay, so that's what you could see here right there on the screen. Okay guys, that's it. That's basically about it for character design choice. In the next video, we're going to be looking at how we could design character in Moho and then design props.